So, you guys are over here, doing over here things. The over here things involve being in this castle, surrounded by an army of Spriggans, beasts, commanded by a hag raven. You are currently staying in the Anchor Point Inn with Crowleys and Hacken. As your mission report goes, you guys are to lead a strike today to take out a hag raven. Your plans were to loop behind the mountain, cross a river, and then go up a cliff in order to get to where their camp is set up. Should you take out the hag raven, whatever foul witchcraft she's used to turn the Spriggans to her will should dissipate, and the Spriggan army and beast army will return to their homelands. Khajiits will get fur wet. I smell boss music. Alright. Any questions or anything you wanted to do before you left the city? I'm gonna just throw everyone across the river. Dankeschön. Potions, if you want to brew them up. Who added me? Put in a signs request. I like it. For future reference, could I poison arrows? Yes. Candace will become a Khajiit. Do we have ingredients? If not, we could buy some. We'll do the same thing before. 1 gold for 2 ingredients. Let me check character gear and see what you guys have. Current ingredients says you have 7 ingredients. And yes, you're welcome to do any enchanting you want as well. How many soul shards? Let me check character gear again. It's all under character gear. You have 9 souls. 2 cure potions? May I retire? Lol. You have a job to do. Well, if you're going to do health, it depends on what level you're crafting them. Just bear in mind of that. How much for the ingredients? It depends on what level you want for health. Restore 1 health, 2 health, 3 health, or 4 health. 4 tokens on ingredients. Got it. Adding 8 ingredients to the stockpile. That gets you up to 15. Well, minus what you use for the cure. Let's move this over here. So let's see. Alchemy. A cure requires 3 ingredients. 2 ingredients per. So minus 4. Yes, you're at 11. Let's just move this up here since we're going to be referencing it. But so if you use 1 ingredient, then you get a +1 heal potion. If you use, 2, then you get a +1. If you use 4, then you get a +2. Etc, etc, etc. Yep, restore health 3 equals 6 ingredients. And yes, you're welcome to purchase the ingredients you need.
Thank you.
Hey, Lance. Welcome to our RPG. Going through some crafting here at the beginning. So if I show you want 6 ingredients per, how many potions did you want? Let's see. 2 health potions, so 6. 3 tokens per, so 6 tokens total. You could use 4 of your tokens, and then that will buy you 6 ingredients, so you would then need 6 more ingredients. 5. Looks fun. We're getting ready to spin up our second version. It's a custom RPG. I'm allowed to fortify one-handed? Yep. Donate 3 tokens. Got it. Put 6 more ingredients in the mix. Let's see. Dragonborn's looking at enchanting. So the way enchanting works, you can use souls per, and then fortify by 1 for every 2 levels. Restore Magicka 3, give it to Kartoffel. You guys need to keep track of your potions, just FYI. If I fortify defense, does that mean I can get a shield? No. Fortification does not allow you to get things you would not normally be able to have. It just buffs your skill at using things you're already using. Currently, there's not ingredients for any restore 3 staminas. Gonna just fortify one-handed, get a better axe. You'll be happy to know that I dropped the skill requirements for axe later. Where are my snacks? Would it help if I ate snacks in front of you? Because if that helps, I'm more than willing to help, Candace. What snacks were you getting? Like if it's potato chips, I've got potato chips. Popcorn, I can get popcorn. Oh, it wouldn't help? Oh. Here I am just trying to help by eating your snacks for you. Ungrateful. Ungrateful Saurus. It's the only way I had to balance it early on, Dragonborn. But I'm adding a better balancing system. Pork rind snickerdoodle cookies, because weird cravings are weird. Hey, if you like them. You're going to fortify one-handed. Alright, so you guys have 9 soul gems. You need 2 levels to have effect. So minimum 4 points. How many did I say you had? So you can go up to 8 to fortify by 2 points. Nope. I'm just going to cut down what the Hagraven has defending it, because you guys are short some people that I had additional characters in to deal with. So you can either fortify each by 1 Dragonborn or one of them by 2. Fortify armor by 2? Got it. You use heavy armor, so we'll do fortify heavy armor. Buff of 2. BRB number 1. She's not back yet. You had to go check. Alright, and then let's attack at nightfall for our impaired friend. Yeah, I'm going to have you heading out at dark. Create a damage magicka 3 poison and hand it to Candace. That will be useful. You're 1 ingredient short of that, if I recall correctly. Double check alchemy. Damage magicka. Oh, nope, it's only 1 per level, so that only costs 3. Disregard me. As you guys aren't smithing, we can move the 7 materials over to ingredients. Sneaky catch poison into Hagraven's bum. That is 1 method of injecting it. Likely non-fatal. Oops. 5, there we go. Oh, fortify magic too. Let's see. Fortify. So I subtracted 2 more than was required. Cool. Is that everything you guys wanted to put together before heading in? I'm useless for this prep work. Alright. Hearing nothing, you guys are off. Dusk begins to fall as you guys walk down. The gate being opened, the guard themselves have assembled with heavily armored divisions being put into the front. Mages, based on the intelligence that your Khajiit had gathered, stand watch on the walls, prepping their spells and keeping an eye out for the animal legions that surely will soon move against them. As you guys move off the path, you quickly then dart into some bushes and around the corner where you guys are shielded from view. The army simultaneously marches out as a grand distraction, and it isn't long before, during your trip, you can hear the sound of animals in the distance, in the hills, moving to intercept and join the battle. As you guys get to the forest, you begin moving through what is mossy, relatively overgrown, but old forest. Stepping over sticks, mosses, the distinct lack of animals is almost disconcerting, as there's no bird chirps, there's no squirrels skittering about. All animals that were able to be moved have been requisitioned by the Hagravens and their Spriggan allies. Continuing on toward dusk, you guys arrive down at the rocky shores of the river. The river itself, a human would say maybe be about this tall. I probably should have put in a human for scale, but you can see a tree for scale. Tall trees. The central current, fast rushing. The noise of the cascading waterfalls is also relatively loud. You're not in any danger of making sounds which will reveal your presence. That said, the distance across here is about 40 feet. How do you want to cross? For the record, what we are starting is we are starting our non-combat encounter, meaning you will be using stamina, potentially using magicka, and potentially losing health, and you will not be regaining it until the encounter is completed. And the encounter is completed when you reach the top of the cliff and get ready to engage the Hagraven, where all of the stuff will be reset, and then you will engage the Hagraven itself. Throw the elf over, I mean, see if I could make the throw. You would get the Hagraven from, say, right here to about right here, and then it drift down to here, and drift down to here, and drift down to here. It drift all the way off the map. Fusroda, the dragon off, or the Hagraven off the cliff. Look for undercurrents. Go ahead and roll up a perception check. Rolls up your d10. You're like, undercurrents, undercurrents. Then you throw, you get it. You throw a stick in, and you just watch the stick float down the river. You are convinced there are no undercurrents. We're gonna die, boys. This one believes we will die, says the Khajiit. Check for shallow points. Where you see the rapids crossing up here, there is a natural shallows, though there are deep cuts into the stone where the bulk of the water is flowing through. Alternatively, you could cross down here, and with the exception of a small little swim through the channel, the water is only going to be up to about shoulder height. Read easier to cross here, and failure has less of a problem. Harder to cross here, easier to cross, but failure is punished more. Harder to cross, but there's not really a chance of failure. You have rope and a grappling hook? You do. Per what we said last session, you guys have any equipment and gear you decide you need within carryable reason, i.e. you guys don't have a transportable bridge you can put down. But a rope and grappling hook? Yeah, you guys could have carried that. That works. Throw the hook. Where? Are you trying to throw it across here? Throw it across here? Throw it upstream for whatever reason? You gonna go fishing with it? Hook a worm and then just chuck it into the water? This will be the upper crossing and the lower crossing. Throw it across the area, so Victor says to throw it across the lower crossing. Kanara has said, well, what about the upper crossing? As Kajit, the thought of water up to the shoulders is not too comforting for this one. Le sigh! Just get a kitty sigh. Lower crossing it is. Maybe you could jump on Victor as we cross the water. What you could do is go ahead and make a d20 roll to chuck the grappling hook across and get a firm grappling. Whoever tosses it will be extending or expending 1 stamina. Bonuses if you have the ranged weapon skill. Also, if you hear thunder, it is yet again thundering here. It's thundered for the past several days. That'd be me then. D20? Yes. 17 on D20. The cat, trying as much as she can to focus on not getting water, just winds up, gives it 1, gives it 2, then a third one just launches it. Grappling hook. Arcs up in a perfect arc. Clangs onto the upper section of the rocks. A short little pool, and it falls down to the second level, where it firmly anchors itself between the bedrock. Getting Victor to put an extra tug on it, it's clear this rope is going nowhere. And the rope is quickly fastened on to this side. Medals will cross first. Are you crossing one at a time, or are we just setting up an order for people to walk across? Cross first and hold the rope when I get across? One at a time in case the rope breaks? Alright, I've had 2 people suggest that they go first. Who's our first person in the water? You want a hoo-ah? Well, there you go. Hoo-ah! And a swig of Gaelic ale. We now, a second person on Victor. Alright, Victor will be going first by vote. As such, everyone... Alright, I've got that order copied. So Victor gets into the water, and slowly but surely begins making his way across. You get to the channel. Victor, I need you to roll me you'll be using a point of stamina. I need you to roll me a d20. 11. Goal's just to get higher than a 10. Well, higher than a 5 because you guys have the rope. And just gracefully just pull yourself across the channel to the point where you feel your feet back on the ground. Now, you guys have rolled great for now. Alright, you make it across without issue. You are now on the other side, and you can see the pinions on the grappling hook lodged into the rock. Next up on our list, Metals. Metals begins going across, using a point of stamina, and very quickly loses grip on the rope and just is sucked under. However, you are an Argonian, and as such, you quickly reorientate yourself and are able to just swim across the channel, and before long, you have made it to the other side with Victor, just popping your head right back up. Kitty, you're next. Using a point of stamina, grimaces and sticks toe in the water. It's relaxingly cool. Though the season is summer, the water comes from the mountains. It is reasonably nice. As you start getting across, and the water starts getting up to chest height, and the cap being a tad shorter, it starts getting a little higher, and you get to the channel, at which point the way you are crossing the channel is not knowing how to swim. The rope is your anchor, and you are holding onto it for dear life. And you start bobbing your way, just pulling yourself up, getting a catch of a kitty breath before plunging back under, moving yourself forward, and pulling yourself up. I need you to roll me a d10 real quick. 5. 5 is insufficient. When you go down, maybe 1 or 2 hops from across, you feel a ripping sensation in your upper leg, in your thigh. You take 2 points of damage, and it appears that something has bitten you. The fishies have arrived! Alright. Let's pull up the combat map. He's a carp! Yes. We'll have character lanes combat lanes pulled up for everyone, so we'll be able to take actions here shortly. So, what we have, our normal 5 lanes are the river lanes. Then let me roll up an initiative order. So, having already crossed, we have Metals. Having not crossed, we have, let me get the actual name, Kayleen. Then we have Victor. Thank you, whoever that was. Hey, Michaela. Doing some roleplay games right now for our own custom system. Then we have Zolf, Kanara, and then we have the Slaughterfish. Will Magicka reset after the fishes or no? No, it will not. You guys will need to finish reaching the top of the cliff before any Magicka resets. This is all part of the pre-combat encounter. It will reset before you guys get to the Hag Raven, though, if that's your question. Alright, Metals, you are up first. Magicka cannot target a Slaughterfish unless they have attacked. So this is the only one that's attacked. This is the only one that's vulnerable to ranged attacks. The other 2 are hidden somewhere under the water. Hold action. Got it. Kayleen, you're up next. So in other words, I sit back and watch. This is it's an interesting encounter. Lightning is a conductor in water, yes? Water is technically an insulator. In other words, there's enough water that unless you get the current close to where you're trying to hit, you're not going to be able to spread it through the entire body. You're going to get into the water and get a hold of the key, so you're going to be able to only move 1 because you're attempting to wade through the water. You may use a stamina to move a second one again if you want. Kitty with the floats getting swamped. You won't get to her. You're only going to have moved 2 in the water. You will not be with her yet. But you'll be wading toward her. Oh, only going to move once? Only going to start wading in. Got it. This is where you swim in and eat the fishes, Metals. Yeah, this is one of where the Argonian can get natural swimming and water breathing. This is advantageous for that. Victor, you're up. Do I need to roll the d20? No, the d20 is for the crossing here in the middle lane. Because here your feet still touch the ground. Can I even shoot while holding onto the rope? Because I am not letting go of it. No, you cannot. However, you can start moving to get out of the river. Facepalm should have kept my alteration. The fishes are weak? Sure, why not? They get +2/+2 every turn, though. I'll start pulling the rope to get the kitty out, then everyone else just swims across easy. Let me put a rope counter on the board. Alright, so you spend your turn pulling the rope. You may either pull the rope twice, using a point of stamina, or advance it once. Your choice. Use your Khajiit claws. You're going to use the stamina? Alright, so you're going to pull it twice, holding onto the rope. Kanara is being hauled toward shore. Your feet can touch the ground. As such, you have full use of your weapons. Zolf, you're up. You're going to jump in. Now, if you want to use a point in stamina, you can advance twice. Otherwise, you're only advancing once per turn in the water. As if you've ever tried to run through water in heavy armor, or any armor, or clothing even for that matter, it's a pain. Just once for now? Got it. Yeah, if you want to grab a hold of the rope, that would require a double move. Just FYI. Kanara, I will take actions from you as well. I'm gonna go with my gut. Alrighty. Advance your way to shore. Done. You're on shore. The kitty gets out of the water, dripping wet, matted fur down in the leg, where the slaughterfish did its best to tear out a chunk. But thus far, the cat appears to be mostly intact. Shake, 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 shake. Beginning to think you're a puppers. The slaughterfish begin converging on the remaining two people in the water, while the other one generically follows Kanara to shore. I need defensive rolls D10s from both Kayleen and Zolf. Looks like you're both going to be fine. Well, then Zolf went and rolled a 1. The attack is an 8 versus you. Alright, so Zolf takes 2 points of damage, going to 3, as a slaughterfish comes out of nowhere and begins trying to munch on his arm. Kayleen, the attack roll was a 2, so regardless of defensive roll, it's just trying to gnaw through his arm, well, through her armor, and it's just like clank, 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 and not really landing any blows whatsoever. I thought you were a high and mighty elf. Alright, Metals, you had till end of initiative. It is your turn, and then it's your turn again. Metals watches as Kayleen and Zolf try to make it across. Alrighty. Kayleen, you are up next. Muttering about a fish attacking a Khajiit. I think Kayleen had to step away because he was getting on the laptop. So bare minimum, we'll have at least advance 1 and grab onto the rope. Then as we're approaching the channel, it's going to require a point of stamina. Victor, are you going to wait for Zolf to get I'm going to cast Courage on Zolf. Well, there you go. Pull the rope, not let the elf grab on. He'll still be able to grab on because he can just move twice. I'm going to hit the stamina and grab it. Alright. So Kayleen is pulled out over the channel. Zolf is pulled out over the channel. Zolf, I will need you to roll me a d20 here as you're attempting to maintain grip on the rope. We'll need that roll from Kayleen as well when he gets back. 15, you're good. I am back. Beautiful. I need a d20 roll as you're now out in the channel. Also, I advanced you once and grappled you onto the rope. And Victor, for reference, it's taking you a stamina to just even pull the rope because there's 2 people attached to it at this point. You stay attached. Victor, you are out of stamina, FYI. Kanara, you are up. You do have sight to 2 of the slaughterfish should you wish to take the shot. This is the one that bit you. Just taking a casual shot, lining it up. It connects, the slaughterfish just begins floating, and then drifting downstream. Isa dead. 2 kitties at the food dish. The remaining 2 slaughterfish close in on the 2 people floating. First one attacking Kayleen. It's going to be a miss. Again, too low of a roll. Second one attacking Zolf. I'm going to need a d10 of a roll versus you. The attack is 5. So you just need to get equal or higher. You're perfectly fine. You see the slaughterfish coming, and with a deft kick, you manage to move it out of the way. And it just kind of darts off to the side. Pimley casts Rally onto Dragonborn. I believe that costs 3 magicka. So you're going to gain 2 stamina, 2 health. They could have all reached it, Candace. It didn't matter. Because they were in the river, 1-2. They were in the river, 1-2. Kayleen, you're up. You could advance yourself on the rope if you use a stamina point up to 2 spots. And then when Victor pulls, you'd be out on the shore. Assuming Victor pulls. I do intend to be pulling. Alright, so Dragonborn will do a pull. So for 1 point of stamina, should you wish it, you are on shore. Zolf, the same thing goes for you. And then Kanara, you get a chance to snipe at one of the remaining slaughterfish. A 5 arrow splashes into the water near the slaughterfish. And meanwhile, Zolth is going to go ahead and pull himself up onto shore. Also, that's expending your last stamina? No, that's your first stamina you've spent. Or, sorry, second stamina you've spent, because you got rallied, which gave you a +1 stamina. The 2 remaining slaughterfish loop back up and go to nip at Kayleen's heels. That's a crit. And then I need a defensive roll from Kayleen. That other roll is a 15. You can only defend with a D10. 5, you cannot use your shield while you're in the water, so it goes straight down to your armor, which is 9. 14 versus 15, that's a hit. You're going to take 2 points, and then 4 points, so 6 points. You are staggered by the slaughterfish. Yep, the armor adds a substantial portion, 9, but alas, the slaughterfish had enough, and the crit bypasses your defense anyhow. So the first one just kind of found a weak spot and nipped it. The second one kind of did a jump, latched onto your neck, and tried to tear your throat out as it then released so it could splash back down into the water. Well, I'm gonna heal the injured Nord instead, apparently. Initiative goes, Kayleen's pulled out, encounter is completed. Correction. You guys have bypassed the slaughterfish portion. Can I pass Soul Trap on Kayleen? Fun little fishies. Fun little fishies. If you want to cast healing, now is your time to do it. Because your next challenge is the cliff. Heal other on Kayleen. Let me go over to restoration. So healing hands, cost 2 magicka, heals for 2. Alright, you guys continue up the path, and before long you guys are staring at a cliff. At the top of the cliff, you can occasionally hear loud noises echo down. Oh, heal other is 3 and it heals for 4. You've Arcane Mastery? Ah, got it. Thank you for the correction. The 2 ways you have up this cliff. 1 is the path up through here. A grappling hook locking in here will allow you to go up, and it is the easier roll, but the more difficult penalty should you fail. Because if you fall, you're straight down to the ground. Alternatively, I guess you really can't see it because of the cat cam. We'll just pretend over here. This is a gravelly slope that you can go up. It's actually back here, but there's a gravelly slope you can go up, which, should you go up there, it is the harder roll to climb, but has less penalty if you fail. We'll go the difficult route. I'll catch whoever falls. Option 1, alright. There is you can still grapple on the anchor path, on the gravel path, yes. Please do my idea. Think for me while I regenerate my brain cells. Alright, Candace is gonna help get food in, so Candace will go last. Rolls d20 for the grapple. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Clink, 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 clink. Well, no, that's a 15 total. It just needs a 10. Never mind. Whoosh. It hits just shy, but then with momentum, it flicks up and over and anchors right on the edge. However, a pull and some weight being put on it seems to indicate that it is relatively secure. What's our order for going up here? Same order or different order? Victor kind of hangs on it while you guys start sorting just to see if it comes down. For the entirety of your conversation and determining order, it remains firmly lodged up there. Victor, deciding that, well, since I'm hanging, I'll go ahead and go up first. Alright, I need you to roll me a d20. So he begins pulling himself up. He gets up to the ledge, and then he kicks off. When he kicks off, you can see the 4-pronged grappling hook just kind of tilt, some gravel fall down, and before you could think about it, the whole hook just kind of snaps off to a side and plummets down. Victor, that's going to be 2 points of damage, which is going to drop you to 7 health, and that's going to have used your remaining point of stamina. I'll turn to Mist. So that would be an action where you wouldn't be climbing. So you're not able to do that while you're falling. It's 1 point for him to fall. The second point of damage is the grappling hook landing on top. If someone wants to roll, we'll let Candace's assistants give anyone a plus 11 to re-secure the grappling hook. The alteration spell Levitate would be great right now? It would. There's some really good spells that would be useful right now. That's a 13 with a 15 required to anchor it. So Metals goes, how hard can this be? And just chucks it up. And very quickly it hits this and it just kind of keeps spiraling up. And just comes back down. Victor just picks it up. Eyes it up a little bit with pointing from Kanara. Just chucks it up, and it just, rather than Kanara's, which was a nice little arc and grapple, or Pimley's, which was a spiral, it just goes straight up in, anchors back into the corner, tugs twice, and it's good. Kayleen is right at the foot of it and ready to go, though. She's been waiting to go up first and says that she'll test it and immediately starts going up. So I'll take a roll from Kayleen. I'm role-playing this because I realized Kayleen's on a delay and has kept saying that I'm going first, I'm going first, I'm going first. So we're working around the delay by doing that. I think it's case sensitive, so the D20 needs to be lowercase. 12. So you begin working your way up, you get to the swing, you swing up and over, and you're able to crawl up. And it appears you've let out on a ledge that's just below whatever would be visible. So remaining silent, you assist in the securing of the grapple. Anyone else, or Kartoffel, who I believe was next, Zolf can go ahead and begin his climb. The elf outside of the water is able to scamper up, taking what are superior footholds to the ones identified by his previous Nord Imperial friend. He is able to get up in the best possible, most dignified way. Alright. That leaves Pimley. Alright. Metals focuses, begins climbing up. Before getting partway up, when the rope just somehow, while trying to get it, the rope is wrenched, pinches the hand, instinctively releases to avoid getting it caught. The rope remains fixed, but you take 1 point of health damage and are going to need to try again. Second time, realizing what he did wrong, it's not difficult for the Argonian to just scamper straight up. So Victor, you have the problem that you're out of stamina. Either someone could cast a spell on you to give you stamina, or you're going to be rolling a d10, where if you don't roll a 10, you fail. He's been rallied though, he used it. Oh, he's already been rallied. Got it. That is true. Can we pull up the Nord? Yes, you can pull up the Nord if the Nord just wants to hang on for dear life. It required 2 people. Well, 2 people or a total of 4 stamina to get people up. This is the last check you guys have, so I'm fine hand-waving that part away, but I will still need the rolls to make sure it's possible. We need a combined roll of 25 between 4 people. Kartoffel doing the absolute bare minimum to pull his compatriot up. Or I guess we're rolling 3 people, because we don't have Candace at the moment. Give me a second. 6, 3, 18. Or sorry, 6, 5, 15. Should I return now or not? Go ahead and roll me a d20 real quick, Candace. Or I guess they can drop the rope back down. Alright. Yep, Aisha provides enough strength to finish lifting it up. The rope is dropped back down, at which point the cat, almost without the rope's help, is able to deftly just dart up and is at the top. Alright, that is the end of our non-combat encounter. Which means health, regenerated. Stamina, regenerated. Magicka, regenerated. I enjoyed the non-combat encounter. Thank you. It's a bit of an experiment. We're pushing the boundaries of the system. So, this is what is before you. 1 second. This is what is before you. There appears to be they've noticed you, by the way. Though anyone who wishes to be in stealth will be in stealth. There's 3 Briar Hearts that are up front and will be engaging in melee. There appears to be a mage in the back, and then a hag raven. Let me go ahead and roll up initiative, pull up our combat lanes, and we'll get started. It is night, but do note there will be illumination down on the board. Alright, so first up will be Kayleen, then Victor, then Zolf, Kanara, Metals. That's last. Yeah, that's 5. Alright. Then your opponents are Briarheart, 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 Mage, Hagraven, Kayleen. Who is the closest Briarheart? They are all in this lane. D20 for sneak. You are not sneaky. When do I apply the poison? On your turn, you get whatever free action you want, which would include applying the poison. Oh, you have a +6. I forgot. Never mind, you are sneaky. I keep forgetting to add the plus. So I was like, 11 is higher than 9, but you had a 15, which is higher than 11. Hurt friendlies? Yes. Wall of X hurts everyone. In fact, all destruction spells that affect entire lanes hurt everyone. Oh, and I said there was illumination. There is illumination surrounding what is a campfire, which is where the Briar Hearts are. Was taking an exam? Not a problem. We'll go ahead and plug you into the order here. Where does it have you in the order? Just to the left of, or to the right of Dragonborn. Got. Yes, fellow kitty, hello. Our goal is to kill the hag. That is correct. That one right there. This is your fight, by the way, Katya. I will take actions from Kayleen, Victor, and Katya. And Katya can stealth at her leisure. She is stealthed. When their perception is a 3 and her plus is a 6, she is hidden. Zolf kind of looking to the rest of the party. Should I start dropping bombs on the hag or go for crowd control? To damage the closest Briarheart? How so? So there's, you're 3 lanes away. Are you going to move and use a stamina to close? Which you're actually wearing heavy armor, which limits you to 1 move. So you can move 1 and then use a stamina to move 2 if you want. Katya is going to begin advancing in stealth to try to get to the hag. Taking actions from Kayleen, Victor, Zolf. Thought it was 2. Heavy armor reduces your movement by 1. Alright, begins to advance. Victor, Zolf, Kanara taking actions. Begins to use the staff, focuses an ice storm, roll up an attack. Oof. You go to cast your spell, at which point you start partway through, going through the draconic tongue that is your magic, when you just hear screeching into your head. The spell is interrupted. You spend your 3 magicka that you would have used to cast the spell, and the spell fails. Apply poison, shoot hag, reapply poison. That is going to be a hit, and fails. Kartoffel, it appears that the mage cast Earwig, which allows the mage to defend against spells and cause them to fail. And it cast Earwig at a high enough level that it auto-killed your spell. So, alright, you had damage magicka 3. So, Kanara hits from stealth, which is going to do 10 damage. I've been bamboozled. I've been tricked. I've been dishonored. What are you doing, Dragonborn? I missed your action. And then 3 points of magicka damage. Oh, you're casting Fireball? Roll me an attack. You did? Let me scroll up and find it. You did. You rolled an 11. So you cast Fireball. The mage turns, makes eye contact with you. and into your head comes a tune. And your spell fails, costing you the magicka. Next time use a soundboard for that? I would, I just don't have a soundboard. It's on my list of things to acquire. Also, thank you. Whoever that was. I don't have my ground control thing open. I guess I should open it. Metals, that has you up. Ah, 'twas a Nikki. Thanks, Nikki. Consume Fortify Magic 2, then cast Fear on the Mage. So your magicka goes up by 2. Let me double check what Fear costs. Costs 2, so it's a wash. The mage sees you casting the spell and allows it... Well, let me see if it gets hit. I need to roll a d10 for that. You do need to roll an attack to hit the mage. Where are my d10s? I rolled one earlier. I must have put it away. Or I dropped it and the cat's going to find it later. That'd be disconcerting. If you're available... Oh no, Katya's already moved. Never mind. Rolls up a 6 plus... Let me see what your spell attack is. Oh, do I not have illusion spelled up as an attack? I don't. Let me go look at what illusion is. 10. That's a 16. Fear impacts the mage, and it just kind of washes over them with no effect. It appears they're too high power for the illusion spell to take a hold of them. What is their illusion? Earwig, if cast at a higher level, automatically wins. You don't need to have your roll to hit. In other words, they're casting expert level Earwig to counter your spell. Hag isn't our boss, the mage is. Alright. Enemy's turn. Briarhearts advance. They do not see Katya. As such, they are unable to engage in melee. The mage staggers one step forward to position herself between you and the hag. The hag sets up a... Wait. We haven't had Pimley. No, he did cast. The hag dual casts a fireball into lane 5. I need a defense from all of you. Against a 26. Greater Ward is still a defense. 5, 1, 1, 2... Greater Ward gives you a d20. Metals cast Earwig at which level? 3. Greater Earwig is your highest. You don't need to roll defense. You're outside of Fireball. You can cast Greater Earwig, should you wish. It's not an auto defense, but should you properly defend against it, which it's a 26, so you would need to roll a 16 or higher, then the spell is negated. Oh, I rolled a 5? I missed that. Alrighty. So a dual cast Fireball does double damage. So Victor takes 6 points, then burns for 1. Victor, you're staggered. Zolf, 7 points. You are staggered. Kanara, 7 points. You are staggered. Metals, find you here. 7 points. You are staggered. Right, so back to the initiative order. Kayleen, you're up. I will also take actions from Victor and Katya. Can we drink a potion and still attack? If you don't move, yes. They still need to cast Earwig. Am I alive or staggered? You're fine. You weren't in the lane that got nuked. Only lane 5 got nuked. I'm subtracting 3 magicka from metals. Whoops. Thanks. Oh, and fear. But the potion. Am I staggered? You are not. You are in lane 4. You do not have the staggered condition, which is the STA, applied to you. So you're fine. Goes ahead, rolls up, drains blood on one of the Briarhearts. Dragonborn, you do not have any magicka remaining. You used it all in Fireball. Also, I have a cat meowing at me from across the house. Thought Fireball was 1 magicka drain? No? Alright, begins attacking Briarhearts. 9... Not Fireball, Firebolt. Firebolt would have cost 2. But they also wouldn't have earwigged it. Because they earwigged it because it was Fireball. Well, no, they would have rolled up a defense instead of just trumping it with one of their 2 trump cards. You don't even have the level to cast Fireball? See, I didn't check that. I trusted. I had a trust. Alright, what we're going to go with is the Firebolt missed, but I'm going to return to you the Magicka, and I'm going to return their defense Magicka to the defender. I'll take his Fireball. Alright, so use Drain. It does hit, because their defense is not sufficient. As such, you drain up to 1. And let me double check what Vampiric Drain does. It's over under Beasts. You do not have the Magicka for Drain. Drain requires 2 Magicka. You have 1. Because Firebolt costs 2. We have a Dragonborn learning his magics. Character sheets are going to be really nice. Agreed. It says it's an Adept level spell. And Adept level spells cost 2. This is why we let elves have the magics. We'll go ahead and we still will be accepting actions from Katya and Zolth. I didn't conclude Kayleen's attack. Kayleen's attack did hit. You are welcome to engage the Briarhearts in melee should you wish. Let me go back over to character gear and see how much damage Sword does. Sword does 4. Fortify magic plus 3. Got it, Kartoffel. Did I say 3 or 4? 4. If we move to the retreat lane, must we retreat? No. Gonna get behind the hag. Try to slash her up. Go ahead and roll up your attacks. You are hidden, so the hag does not see you. Wait and see what Katya's attack does before you go. Alright. Shoot the mage. Screw the hag. You're forgetting the fact that the hag staggered 4 of you in one attack. The mage is literally there for the same reason that always a dragon has a mage. Gotta have someone to make sure you can't just alpha strike. Alright, 12 on the first attack, 3 on the second. First attack hits, second attack misses. The first attack is enough to stagger the hag, though. And you are revealed. Zolf, you're up next. Who has more health, the mage or the hag? Mage, unwounded. Hag, literally one more hit will kill. Staggered, screeching, kind of arms down on her knees. Something like that. Metals, hag, hit the hag. I'll take actions from Kanara as well. So Zolf and Kanara. Incinerate the hag? What spell? Given that Incinerate is not a spell. Incinerate is the spell. Alright, give me a second. I need to remind myself what Incinerate does. You're casting spells beyond what I know. Ah, expert level. It's the 4 damage attack. Got it. So, Earwig is going to be cast, however, it is a straight defense. It's not an auto defense. 25 is the, 17 is the defense. Your attack was 13 plus, nope. Incinerate hits. The mage attempted to use her second nope card to turn it off. However, the Incinerate bypasses straight into the hag. Roasty toasty, hag for... I don't know how I'm going to end that with a rhyme. The hag's dead. I will not be made a fool of again. Look at those beautiful ashes. Kanara, you're up next. Rolls to hit the mage. You are stealthed. The mage is not. Does not see you. So that is a 6. That's going to be a hit using a point of stamina. And because you were stealthed, your gear gives you... Let's see, where is your ranged bow? Bow, Kanara, 5, 10 points of damage. The mage is staggered. Go ahead and roll to rehide. Oh, and -3, fair point, yes. We could all use the health, it's true. We'll take a roll for Kanara to rehide, and Metals, you're up. I could die here. I thought vampires are already dead. Your argument is invalid. 12 on the re-sneaks. That is insufficient to re-sneaks. Invisible. I could double die. Is that including your sneak bonus? Yes. Each time you try to re-sneak, the enemy gets a +5, and so they were up to a +10 to see you, in addition to their perception bonus, which the mage has a decently high perception. It's because I realized stealthy characters could permanently stay stealthed, and they could just go into an encounter on their own and win. So I had to correct for that. I'll go ahead and start with the Briar Hearts while I wait on Metals' action. Hopefully I didn't miss it. If I did miss it, please repost it. There's been a lot of comments, and scrolling up, I don't see it recently. Kayleen, I'll need defense rolls from both you and Victor. Gonna be a miss on Kayleen and maybe on Victor. The other Briarheart is going to go to challenge Katya. This is where I'd die. Delete. Rolls a 1. The other Briarheart's going to go ahead and attack Katya. F for Victor. Runaway die. I found it. Let me roll here in front of me where I'm rolling into a keyboard. So I'll need a defensive roll from Katya and Kayleen. As well as, we're still waiting on Metals' action. Wonder if Pimley had to step away for a second. You can cast the buff on me so I can reroll. You won't get to reroll, but you might not be dead. Though the Briarheart does 2 damage according to how it looks. So I guess, no, because you were at 0. Even with a buff, you'd still be down. Alright, roll d10. 4, had to be AFK, not a problem. I'll take your action when you're ready. I figured something came up. It was all good. That's going to be a hit. Katya takes 2 points of damage, dropping you to 5. Dual cast Rally on Zolth, dropping you to 1 Magicka. Zolth, you gain 3 points of health, or 4 points of health, and 4 points of stamina. Would dual cast have saved me? Yes. I appreciate this generous deed. I do need another defense from you, Katya, as the mage is going to spritz flames in your direction. Chances are it's going to hit, because that is a 13. Victor, I'm sorry, Zolth has better destruction. Love it. Checking defenses. Yeah, that's going to be a hit. Alright, so 1 more point of damage from the flames. The mage appears to be out of Magicka. Back to the top. Kayleen, which mage? This one, the only one. So I'll take actions from Kayleen, Katya, and Zolth. The mage can no longer defend from my fury. Action or defense? Action. I'm taking actions from Kayleen, Katya, and Zolth. Wanted to make sure it wasn't friendly fire. Fair bit. Video's grainy. I'm going to try to increase the quality. In the same row as you. If you need to, you can pull up the spreadsheet, and it's just the combat lanes tab. You'll be able to see it on your own screen as well if you're having issues seeing it here. I'm going to attack the Briarheart in my lane. Go for it. Then Zolth will Ice Storm away. 19 for the first of the 2 attacks, and the second one, 8. First one's going to hit, second one's going to miss. Defense against Frost is a failure. I'll take the attack from Aisha. This one's going to be staggered and then killed by the Ice Storm. Staggered by Katya, giving it a good solid thwapping. And then murdered as the Ice Storm comes in. Aisha, rolling up at 18. That is sufficient. That's going to stagger this one. And then kill it when the Ice Storm hits it. The Mage, I'm rolling up the Mage's defense now. Hit, the Mage is dead. Leaves 1 remaining Briarheart, who did not successfully defend. Does Metals need to roll? No. Though it is Kanara and Metals' turn. If you have something you're wishing to do as your action that requires a roll, go for it. Work keeps calling me and I have no choice but to answer. Oh, I've been there. I've been there. Best of vibes. Nothing better to do than to hunt the hag's soul in the land of the dead and try to torture it some more. I mean, you're a vampire, so I mean, eh. Bound Dagger cast. 15. That's going to be a hit. Staggered. Arrow hits, kind of glances off the helmet, but you can see that the helmet left a gouge in the skull as the arrow moved off. The Briarheart turns to flee and begins running, using a stamina point. Kayleen can't catch. Katya, you are the first person who's going to be able to catch the fleeing Briarheart. I have been drowned, snacked on by a fish, and roasted. It's true. This is a hard life for a Khajiit. Such a hard life. I will also take rolls from Zolth should you have something you wish to do, Zolth. Bear in mind, you only have 1 point of magicka remaining. Oh, no, you have 2 points of magicka remaining. My bad. I'm fetching a Khajiit. Hello, Khajiit. Hello. Hi. Hi. You just jumped straight to it. Let me get you a sneak snack. I have a fortified potato. Can I elements wall? Alright, Katya rolls 8 and a 5. I've already rolled up his defense. His defense was a total of a 5. So he successfully defends the second one. However, that is moot point, as he is dead. Briarheart's clear. Normally, you could cast an element wall. However, combat has ceased. I'm making sure we do have a... Uh-oh, cat cam's frozen. Give me a second. Give me a second. It is not a proper view unless we have a cat cam. We didn't have a cat before, but now we do. He's an Urist kitty. When Fireball doesn't work, cast bigger Fireball. It's a good plan. The camp is clear. Clearing stuff out, you're able to find 3 souls, 6 ingredients. I'm just straight up converting your your materials into ingredients for the benefit of the party, as we do not have a smith. As you guys look out over the area, you see that the animals and Spriggans all appear to be scattering. You gave him dirty treats? Yes. You're the deep roads with Ogren? Yes! Give him good ones? Is laid down to sleep. He's got to start making iron daggers to grind up. It appears that with the death of the Hagraven, whatever foul witchery had been employed to keep the Spriggans loyal to their sworn enemy has worn off, and the Spriggans, now finding themselves far away from their forests, are taking their animals with them as they retreat. The city, as far as you are now concerned, is safe. As you return up, you see that there is a small funeral being held at the outskirts of town for the fallen of the battle. The numbers relatively low, as the flanking force that was supposed to be the hammer of the hammer and anvil was caught by the mages who were stationed on the walls and roasted at distance. Many of the corpses of the animals have been taken back into the city and are being prepped for a victory feast. Information win? Yes. The funny thing is, I actually didn't anticipate adding that information or that entire bit of that quest, but I like to reward creativity, and you guys were creative. So creativity win. Buy more rope. You guys restock on supplies and begin returning to the inn. Upon returning to the Anchor Point Inn, Flavius, Hacken are present. Hacken has said that he has completed his dealings in the city and shortly will be returning back down into, into Rahad, that's not true, into Hammerfell. Want to buy brush for fur fixing? A brush is provided for proper Khajiit grooming. Not quite as good as a tongue, but it's close enough. Human fine-tooth combs will be sufficient. Anyway, Flavius notes that payment has been gathered from the city, in addition to the payment you guys had received beforehand. Those of you who participated in this are able to collect an additional 4 tokens. So I will go through and add money in now. Oh, Victor is healed back up. And per previous statement, you guys will level at the end of this. For a rich, snarky, not snarky, just tantrums involving elves. Fair enough. Sounds right. Sounds appropriate. As such, yes, this is the last level up you'll be getting. Is this where I get Ancestor's Shield? If you have the levels to hold an Ebony Shield, yes, 1 health, 2 block. Put it in the level up for him. I'm gonna be handling it all through the level up for him this time.